Ready to see. This is what we're getting ready to witness. Notice what the next verse says. And if those days, what days? The great tribulation. If those days of the great tribulation were not shortened, no flesh would be saved. We're not talking about salvation. We're talking about just being alive. But for the sake of the chosen ones, that's you and me, for the sake of the chosen ones, those days, what days? The great tribulation shall be shortened. It shall be shortened. Now, this is what we're getting ready to see, family. If anyone then says to you, look, here is the Messiah. If that be Trump, if that be King Charles, if that be Elon Musk, if that be whoever the person is that is going to be this anti-Messiah, do not believe. For false messiahs and false prophets shall arise, and they shall show great signs and wonders so as to lead astray, if possible, even the chosen ones. Yours may say even the very elect. Notice here it says that they are going to be able to show great signs and wonders. Let me show you. Where did we read something like that before? Well, let me take you to Second Thessalonians chapter 2. What does it say in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2? For the secret of the lawlessness is already at work, only until he who now restrains comes out of the midst. And we just read that in Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. Michael, the archangel, shall stand up. Okay, this is when this happens. And then the lawless one, that is the anti-Messiah, shall be revealed, whom the master shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and bring to nothing with the manifestation of his coming. Notice what it says here. The coming of the lawless one is according to the working of Shaitan with all power and signs and wonders of falsehood. Just like what we just read in Matthew chapter 24. Did we not just read where he says, and they shall show great signs and wonders? These false prophets and false messiahs, these false anointed ones. And they will show this with all deceit and unrighteousness in those who are perishing. We're not the ones who are perishing, family. We are the ones that are going to be made alive. We're the ones who are going to be immortal. We're going to be the ones that are going to be incorruptible, because they did not receive the love of the truth in order for them to be saved. And it's for this reason Elohim sends them a working of delusion. What is this working of delusion? The great tribulation. These wonders of signs and wonders that are going to happen before their eyes, and they're going to believe it because they had no love for the truth. For them to believe in the falsehood. That's what they're going to believe. They're going to believe in the falsehood, in order that all should be judged who did not believe in the truth. Again, those who didn't love the truth and those who didn't believe in the truth are the same people, but have delighted in unrighteousness. They love unrighteousness. But we ought to give thanks to Elohim. Why? Always for you, brothers, beloved of the master, because Elohim from the beginning has chosen you to be saved. That's why. In a set apartness of the Ruach of the Spirit, in belief in the truth, unto which he called you and me by our great news, that is the Basora. Again, who is the great news? The Messiah. For the obtaining of the esteem of our master, Yahusha the Messiah. So then, brothers and sisters, stand fast. That means to stay strong. Don't give up. Hold the traditions which you were taught. Hold to the belief that you was given, whether by word or by a letter. We're reading the letter. And our master, the Messiah, Yahusha, himself, and our Elohim and Father, who has loved us and given us everlasting encouragement and great expectation. What is the expectation? Eternal life. Through favor, encourage your hearts and establish you in every righteousness word and work. This is how we are to conduct ourselves, family. We have been chosen. We are that royal priesthood. We are that peculiar people. Hallelujah. Hold on one second. Let me put this puzzle piece in. I thought TT was about to kick me off again for saying hallelujah. Oh boy. It wouldn't be something that I would say, oh my gosh, I don't believe they did this. They would do it. Thank you for that. Thank you so much for the hanging lights, Brother Ricky. Thank you. So we are about to see that time like no other time. Matthew 24. This great distress, as it says in the King James Version. Let me read that from the King James Version so you guys can see the word. Sometimes people need to see the word tribulation to recognize that this is actually getting ready to happen. Yes, it is. That is what's at the door. It's getting ready to happen. You're about to witness it. I'm about to witness it. We are about to live it. We're about to experience this thing. First, let me read that again, what we read in Daniel, so that you guys can all see how it says it in the King James Version. Daniel chapter 12. Let me bring this down once again. Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. And at that time, again, the great tribulation is that time, shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which stands over the children of your people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to the same time. And at that time your people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. Now, let me take you before I go to the next passage in Matthew 24. When is this going to happen? Well, let's jump forward to Revelation, also chapter 12. We're going from Daniel chapter 12 to Revelation chapter 12. When is this going to happen with Michael? When is he going to stand up and he's going to fight for us? And when is this great tribulation going to start? Right here. Verse 7. And there came to be fighting in the heaven. Michael and his messengers, yours to say angels, fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his messengers, his angels, fought, but they were not strong enough, nor was place found for them in the heaven any longer. They are no longer able to transverse through the heavenly realm. And that great dragon was thrown out, that serpent of old, called the devil and Shaitan, who leads all the world astray. He was thrown to the what? To the earth. He is now earthbound. He is earthbound. This is that time of trouble. This is that time which shall never be, that has been since the world has began. This is that moment. He was thrown to the earth, and his messengers, his angels, were thrown out with him. This is going to be the so-called alien disclosure. This is going to be the contact or the visitation of what the world calls aliens. They're going to be witnessing the fallen angels. We are going to see these fallen angels. We're going to know when they come down, the great tribulation begins. This is why it says this here. And I heard a loud voice saying in the heaven, now have come the deliverance, that is salvation, and the power and the reign, the kingdom of our Elohim, and the authority of his Messiah. For the accuser of our brethren, that is Shaitan, who accused them before Elohim day and night, has been thrown down where? To the earth. He cannot go before the throne anymore like he used to all the way back even in the times of Job. If you read the book of Job, you'll see the same thing, that Satan and the angels were brought before the throne and they had to give an account. And Yah said to Satan, where have you been? And he said he was going to and fro throughout the earth. And then Yah says, have you considered my servant Job? He says, yeah. The only reason why he praises your name is because you've given him everything. But take away everything from him and see what he does to you. See if he still continues to praise you. What do you think is getting ready to happen, family, on this earth when this great tribulation happens, when it's time for us to be tested? Do you not know what the word tribulation means? It means great testing, great trials. Satan is about to try us. Let's see if you're going to still praise Yah when you have everything taken from you and you're hungry and your kids are without. And your wife is without, and you guys are destitute and hungry and cold and miserable. Are you still going to praise Yahuwah? This is what Satan is going to be saying to us and these fallen ones. And those of you who are tired of being destitute and cold and shivering and hungry, you're going to turn around and walk right back into society outside of that wilderness. You're going to go away from that second Exodus, because Yah said he is going to purge the rebels from amongst us. And some of you are going to be purged because you don't belong with us. You never was one of us. You thought you was one of us, but your stomach tells us that you're not. And it's going to reveal to you that you're not, because your stomach is going to overpower your senses, because you didn't know how to bring your flesh into subjection. And you're going to allow Satan to walk you right back into society. And you're going to take that mark of the beast, just like Esau gave away his birthright for a morsel of food. These are our examples. Are you going to get rid of your birthright? Are you going to just let it just be as it was to you, nothing? This is when this happens. This is the great tribulation. And so notice what it says here. And they overcame him. Who's him? Shaitan, because of the blood of the Lamb. It's the blood that saves us. It is the blood that cleanses us. It is the blood that gives us eternal life. And because of the word of their witness, and they did not love their lives to the unaliving. There's your key right there, that we're going to start dying for our belief. We're going to start getting unalived because of our testimony about the Messiah. They're even probably going to tell us to denounce that name, to denounce that you believe in the Messiah called Yahusha. But guess what we're going to do? We're not going to love our lives, even though they torture us, even though they put us on the guillotine. Yes, these are things that they're getting ready to do. Exactly. That 4-letter word right there, Sandra. Exactly. This stuff is so serious. It is so serious. So let us go back here to Daniel. And let's read that again. Now that you know what Michael is going to do, Michael is getting ready to get out of the way, because Yahuwah is going to allow Satan to have full reign of this earth. Yah is going to allow Satan to do whatever he wants, even to unalive us, because he's been given permission. He's been given permission according to Revelation chapter 6, the 5th seal. And we'll read that here in a second. And again, at that time shall Michael the archangel stand up, that great prince which stands over the children of your people, and there shall be a time of trouble. Time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. Now let's read that same passage in Matthew chapter 24, verse 21. For then there shall be great tribulation, right out of the mouth of our Messiah, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. How many times could this happen? We just read it in Daniel chapter 12, and now we're reading about the same event that has been prophesied by our Messiah. And this is why I say the prepper has no clue what's getting ready to happen. But we, the Nazarene preppers, we know what's happening. We know what's getting ready to go down. Let's go back a little bit. Let's go back a few verses. Verse 5. Let me back up. Verse 4. And Yahusha, not Jesus, and Yahusha answered and said to them, to his disciples, to his Kodashim, that is to the Talmudim, take heed that no one deceive you. That's the very first warning, family. Remember, many prophets and many messiahs shall come, saying that what? I am he. They are the anointed one. That's what we're getting ready to read here. For many shall come in my name. Notice he says, in my name, saying, I am the Messiah, and shall deceive many. Some people say that this has already happened under the name Jesus Christ. Many have already been deceived by the Roman Catholic Church. Got them to take it all in, believing the ways of JC. Now here we are, the second seal. And you shall hear of wars and rumor of wars. See that you be not troubled. Just like what you're watching right now on the evening news about what's going on between Ukraine, or I should say NATO, and Russia. It's no longer Ukraine. This war has never been about Ukraine. It is between NATO and Russia. And not only those two, Israel and Iran, North Korea and South Korea, China and Taiwan, Venezuela and Guyana. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. These are the wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. The end is not yet, family. This is just the beginning. Look what he says here. For nation shall rise against nation. If you look that up, in its original, it'll say, for ethnic shall rise against ethnic, or an ethnic group. Do we not see that right now? Whites against blacks, blacks against whites, Mexicans against blacks, blacks against Mexicans. We're seeing it right now. This is all Satan's doing. And we're all supposed to be Adam's kind. We all have two of the same fathers, Adam and Noah. We're all from the same blood stock. But look what Satan has got us doing, unaliving one another. Over what? Over skin color? Wow. Ridiculous. And then it says kingdom against kingdom. There's your government against government. There's your China against Taiwan. There's your Russia against NATO. There's your Israel against Iran. That's it right there. And there shall be famines. That's going to come because of the war. Just like in Revelation chapter 6, this is the black horse. The red horse is what we just read, the wars and rumors of wars. The famine, that is your black horse. That's your black horse. Pestilences, yeah, we know what that's all about. And the earthquakes and the diverse places, there's your fourth horse. That is the pale horse. All these are the beginning of sorrows. This is that great tribulation. And they shall deliver you up to be afflicted. There's your fifth seal. What does the fifth seal say? Let's go and look at it. Revelation chapter 6. Notice how all this lines up with exactly what the Messiah says. He's told it to us twice. Matthew 24, Revelation chapter 6. What we're reading in Matthew 24 are the seals. We're seeing the seals in Matthew 24. Let me show you as we do this. Let me show you as we do this. Now, we just talked about the fifth seal because it said what? Let me read that part again. Then they should, this is verse 24, Matthew 24, verse 9. Notice what it says here. Then they shall deliver you up to be afflicted and shall unalive you. And you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Why? Why are we going to be hated by all nations? Because we won't take the mark. We don't want to comply. We don't want to be part of the global citizens or global community. And so this lines up with the fifth seal. And when he opened the fifth seal, I saw under the slaughter place the beings or the souls of those who have been slain for the word of Elohim and for the witness which they held. And they cried with the true until you judge and avenge our blood on those who dwell on the earth. And there was given to each one of them a white robe. And they were told that they should rest a little while longer until both the number of their fellow servants and their brethren who would be unalived as they were was completed. Yah already knows how many of us shall be slain, slaughtered, offered for this time of war. And so notice the first seal, the white horse. He who sat on is holding a bow, and crown was given to him, and he went out overcoming to overcome. Let's look at the same thing in Matthew. Verse 5, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Messiah, and shall deceive many. Here's your white horse. Second seal, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not troubled. All these things are the beginning and shall come to pass. Second seal. Second seal was opened. Come and see. Another horse, fiery red, went out, and it was given to the one who sat on it to take what? Peace from the earth. And they should slay one another. And a great sword was given to him. That's what's going to happen. That's what we're seeing right now. Now here's the third seal. Come and see. And I looked and I saw a black horse, and he who sat on it holding a pair of scales in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four living beings saying, a measure of wheat for a denarius, and 3 measures of barley for a denarius, and do not harm the oil and the wine. Now let's look again, and let's see what it says here in Matthew 24, the same bullet points. What happens after the war? Right here. And there shall be famines. There's your black horse. And pestilence. That takes us back to the white horse. And earthquakes in divers places. Here we go again. This is what happens in the fourth seal. And when he opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth living being saying, come and see. And I looked and saw a green horse. Some will say pale horse. And he who sat on it had a name called Unaliving, and Sheol followed with him. And authority was given over to him over a quarter of the earth to unalive with the sword and with hunger. There's your famine. So this, the sword is the war, famine, hunger, with death, pestilence, and by the beasts of the earth. Those are the kings of the earth, not your animals. These are the kings of the earth. Just like we read in Revelation chapter 13. What does it say there in Revelation chapter 13? And I stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast coming up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and on his horns 10 crowns, and on his heads names of blasphemy. This is who we know as the anti-Messiah. And then there was another one that came up. Where is it here? I got to put my eyes over here to the side so I can see what I'm reading. Verse 11. And I saw another beast. Again, these are the beasts of the earth, coming up out of the earth. And he had 2 horns like a lamb, and spoken like a dragon. And he exercises all the authority of the first beast in his presence, and causes the earth and those who dwell on it to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he does great signs, so as even to make fire come down from the Shama, or the heaven, and on the Arets on the earth before men. And he leads astray those dwelling on the earth because of those signs which he was given to do before the beast, saying to those dwelling on the earth to make an image of to the beast, who was wounded by the sword and yet lived. And there was given to him to give spirit. Some other translation says, and it was given to him, or given the authority to give breath to the image. That's what that word spirit means here. To give spirit is to give breath. The same breath that was given to Adam in the Garden of Eden to this image of this beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many to be unalived as would not worship the image of the beast. This is the same one that we read about in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Again, quick touch on that. And going back to what we've been reading, just to show you until we get to the end of this matter of what we were saying in Matthew 24. But this is what he's going to do. The coming of the lawless one is according to the working of Shaitan, with all power, signs, and wonders of falsehood, and with all deceit of unrighteousness in those perishing, because they did not receive the love of the truth in order for them to be saved. This is exactly what we're seeing in Revelation chapter 13, family. Same being, same one. It is the anti-Messiah. So now, let's go back to Matthew chapter 24. And let me get my spot back in Revelation chapter 6. Okay, and so now here we see, after the fourth seal, now we see the fifth seal. And we just went over this again. And it says here, and they shall deliver you up to be afflicted, in verse 9 of Matthew 24, and shall unalive you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Again, why? Because we will not comply. We will not comply with their government. We will not comply with wanting to take this mark. So they're going to unalive us. That is the fifth seal. How long, O Yah, just and true, until you avenge our blood on those who are dwelling upon the earth? And then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. Who is this talking about? It's talking about us. They're going to hate us. They're going to be offended of us, our own family members. Notice what it says here. And it says, and many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. And because of iniquity, other translations say, because of lawlessness shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Didn't I just speak about that earlier? Look at this world and the state of this world right now. That's why the world is this way, because of the lack of love. But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. That's you and me. Endure through what? The great tribulation. The great tribulation. And this Basora, this great news of the kingdom, not Jesus Christ, not the gospel of Jesus Christ. No, that's not what it says here. It says, and this great news of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. So who is the two witnesses? We spoke about this a couple weeks ago. It's you and I. It's you and I. We're waiting for Elijah. We're waiting for Moses, or we're waiting for Enoch, when the whole time we have that spirit of Elijah dwelling in us. Do you not see it? Do you not understand it? We're the ones who understand the prophecies. We're the ones that are telling the people to come back to the commandments, come back to the truth, go back to the Old Testament, see the old ways, find the old path, get on it. We are the two witnesses, both houses, the Gentile house and the Israel house. We're waking up. We're coming to our senses. We're realizing that we are the witnesses. This is why I said what you thought wasn't possible, you better believe it's possible, because if you don't believe it's possible, you're going to be left behind. And I'm not talking about the dang rapture. You're going to be left behind in understanding what is happening in this earth right now, because you don't understand and have the truth dwelling in you, which is the Ruach HaKodesh, which is the set apart spirit. He is the one that leads us. He is the one that guides us. He is the one that shows us all truth. This is the Basora. This is the great news of the kingdom that needs to be preached, family. And yes, the Messiah Yahusha will be announced. We will speak of him. We need to tell people about him, because that's the only way that they get to salvation. But the kingdom that is to come needs to be preached. The millennial reign is coming. Do you not want to be invited? Do you not want to be there? Do you not want to have eternal life? You will have a place, a home. There are many mansions there. This is the kingdom. We're not selling some lie. But the people that are out there, some of them won't believe it. Because if they don't see it with their own eyes, then they won't believe it. So be it. More for us. It's our home. It could be theirs if they want it. Verse 15. When you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, standing in the set apart place. Now we have these parentheses. Whoso readeth, or brackets, I should say, let him understand. Whoso readeth, let him understand. Are we not reading this right now, you and I, all 220 plus of us? Yes, we are. Let us get comprehension of what we're reading, what we're seeing with our own eyes on this piece of paper. What is the abomination of desolation? Oh, well, some people say it's this, some people say it's that. Let me tell you what it is. It is going to be this fake third temple. It is abominable for them to set up this so-called temple where it should not be. Because once they do that, then they're going to allow this being who we know as Shaitan, through the anti-Messiah who is going to be possessing him and dwelling in him, sitting on the throne in the most high place where he ought not be sitting, as it says in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. That is the abomination that is going to cause desolation or destruction. The mark of the beast is not the abomination. The mark of the beast is what we're not to take. But what is abominable is that they're about to erect a building that Yah did not tell them to erect, because Yah has made us the building made without hands. Let us continue. Then let them which are in Judea, that is in Yahudah, flee into the mountains, and let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him or her which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe to them that are with child, and to them that are sucking in those days, talking about their babies, nursing babies in those days. But pray that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. Notice that. Here we are entering winter, and this stuff is getting ready to happen. We need to be praying that it doesn't happen during the winter time, but it seems like it's about to. And we need to be praying that it doesn't happen on a Shabbat. This is how serious this is right now. And those who have Christianity have no idea what this means, because number one, they're not following the commandments. They're not keeping Shabbat. They think this is for the Jews. And I should say, and let me clarify that. They think this is for those people over there calling themselves Jewish. When it's speaking of us, it's not speaking of them. They don't believe in the Messiah. We do. The Christians don't believe in the true Messiah. We do. This is talking about us. This is exclusive to us. This is exclusive to the Nazarim, not to anyone else. This is not a broad invitation to everybody who so comes. That is not who this is for. This is for us, his people, the very chosen elect. That's why he says those days had to be shortened, lest none of the flesh be saved. But he did it for our sake, the chosen ones, you and me, those who are of the Nazarim belief, not of Christianity, not of Judaism, not of Hinduism, not of Muslims, none of this stuff. It is us. It is only us. That's why this needs to go out, family. You need to believe in what is possible. I'm not speaking as some kind of mega church mojo talking crazy and just bringing out some type of lingo just for you to hear it and say, oh, I like that catchy phrase. This is not about something sounding catchy and phrasy. You need to believe in what is possible. And then we come back to our passage. For then there shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh that be saved. But for the elect's sake, that is you and me, those days shall be shortened. Then if anyone says, then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is the Messiah, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false messiahs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders. Again, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Notice it says they shall. That is the beast of the earth and the beast of the sea. That is the false prophet and the anti-Messiah. If it was possible, even us, you and me, the Nazarim, the very elect, the chosen ones, those who have been selected, those who have been called, those who have been chosen. That is you and me. If it was possible, that big old word right there, if, meaning that it's not going to happen. We're not going to be deceived. That's what he's telling us right there. You and me shall not be deceived, because it's already in us. The Ruach HaKodesh is that token of our redemption. We have been selected, predestined to escape the lake of fire. Notice I didn't say great tribulation. We have been selected and chosen to be saved from the lake of fire. He already knew us before the foundation of the world. That should make you jump up and down for joy that he already knew you before he even laid one piece of sand on this earth. Before he laid out the foundation of the earth, you was already in his eternal mind, waiting to come into fruition so that you may live out this thing called life. So that one day you will able to behold him and witness him with your own physical two eyes. and live before him face to face and see him and smell him and touch him and grab him and hold him and hug him. Many won't get that opportunity. Only a few of us. No one else is going to get that opportunity but us. All the rest of them are going to see is his wrath and his anger, and he's going to throw them into that lake because of their disobedience, because they didn't want to be lawful. They wanted to be lawless. They didn't want to follow the commandments because they were taught that it was been done away with, and that is going to be woe unto them. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. Thank you for that, William. I'm serious, family. We are in that time. The precipice is near. We are seeing that event horizon. This time of trouble that's about to come upon this world is exactly what we just read here in Matthew 24, verse 21. And Daniel chapter 12, verse 2. This is that same moment. Thank you for the hand heart. Thank you for the hand heart, 777. We need to prepare ourselves, family. Let me back up for a second. Because again, I know I can get worked up about this. Yep. And it is about to encourage you, to exhort you, to move you, to give you some oomph in your step, to make you go out there and do what you have been called, what your purpose is, why you have been created. I have had the privilege not only speaking to you all here on this platform, and I thank y'all for this privilege. I really, really do. I thank y'all for every last one of you. Even those who are not here right now that have come to my lives, I thank y'all for every last one of you. I've had the privilege to be able to immerse a few of you. Y'all allowed me to immerse 5 people in the last 2 days. Because of TikTok. People that fly in from other areas of the country to come here to be immersed by my hands. And I'm just a vessel. It is not about Brother Jimmy. I just want to do what Yah has told me to do. That's it. It's not about being seen. It's not about my works. It's not about none of that, because you and I both know, let us not kid ourselves, our works is as filthy rags. Let us not kid ourselves. Our works does not save us. But we do this in obedience to Yah. We do these things because we want to be well pleased before Yah. We are his servants. We are his servants, family. Should we not give all of ourselves to do the work that he has called us to do? Many of the things that I do, I put on there and I post it on there, not so that I can be seen. I do that to encourage you. I do that so that you may do the same thing in your neck of the woods, in your corner of the earth, and wherever you live. This world is too big for one person to do all this work. There is so much out there. Too many of us want to sit back and just want to chill in our rocking chair, chill in our lazy boy chair, and have others talk to us. You need to be about our Abba's business. You need to be about our Father's work. I had to send off a text message real quick. We need to be about our Father's business, family. The time is so close. It is so near. And this is why I say I thank Yah for the privilege to be able to speak to you guys about this moment in the history of this earth right now, of humanity. I've been preaching it on here. I've been sharing it on here about the second seal being broken. I know that this is that time. Yah hasn't only revealed it to me, he's revealed this to many of you. You all see it. You guys are all witnesses. We all know the plan. We all know the prophecies. The first seal has gone and done away with. Now the second seal is here. And what's going to transpire after that is going to be the outcome of the first and second seals, that we're going to see the third and fourth, and then the fifth seal. We're going to start getting unalive. Our brothers and sisters are going to start getting unalive, if not you and I myself. And we need to be prepared. You want to keep following people who don't lead you to the truth, who's not showing you this water that is forever, that's not giving you this true manna, this bread that came down from the Shama, that is going to give you eternal life? Then go ahead. Go and follow those false blind guides. Go ahead and continue to go to your churches and continue to go there on Sundays. Go ahead and continue to follow your Thanksgiving celebration, and which is getting ready to come up next week, and do your Christmas celebration, which is coming up next month, and do your New Year's Eve because you're following the wrong calendar, the paganistic calendar of Satan. By all means, be lost, be blind. I'm not speaking to you. The doom and the gloom is for everybody else. We know we're coming back. They can try to doom us all they want, but we coming back. Mark chapter 13. Take heed, watch and pray, for you not know when the time is. For the son of Adam is as a man taking a far journey, who left his house and gave authority to his servants, that's you and me, and to every man their work, and commanded the porter to watch. Watch you therefore, for you know not when the master of the house is coming, at evening, or at midnight, or at the cock crowing, or in the morning, lest coming suddenly he finds you sleeping. And he's not talking about physical sleep. He's talking about spiritual sleep. And what I say to you, I say unto all, watch. So brothers and sisters, I ask that you continue, as we've been told here by our Messiah, watch. What are we to watch for? The signs that we read tonight. The seals in Revelation chapter 6. The second seal has been broken. The third seal is coming. It is going to be the outcome. The fourth seal is coming. It'll be the outcome. The fifth seal is coming. It will be the mark. They will come after us. But we do not need to be afraid. We need to be strong. We need to get on our hands and knees and pray. Watch and pray. And if you haven't fasted, you need to fast. Do it unto Yahuwah, by yourself, privately. Anoint your head. Wipe it off. Go about your business, talking to Abba as you go through your day. We need to fast. We need to pray. And we need to watch. I love you all too. If it be Yah's will, I will be back on Shabbat. If something happens tomorrow, if it's something that I feel that Yah is telling me to get back online to talk to you all, I will do so. Because these are the days of vengeance. We need to be ready. Again, I love you all. May Yahuwah baruch you. May he keep you. And may he continue to allow his light to shine upon you. My name is Brother Jimmy, aka Ambassadors of Yah. Signing off. Shalom, family.